Hello, friends of light. It's Chris here from Miraculite. Here's the gold Lemuria quartz crystal, and it's in the setting sunlight. So a good time like letting go of all your worries as it sets into the sun for the day. Little message today is about conscious creators. You are conscious creators, sweet ones. That's what you are. You are conscious creators. You are constantly contributing to a better world here, a new world. So we the Lemurians, so I'm a Lemurian, and I was also represent with the Sirian Council as well, and any of their higher present conscious beings that are here at this time. Doesn't mean you have to be Lemurian or Sirian, that's what I identify with, but there's many beautiful beings here on many different levels and dimensions, and welcome to you all. So you're all the seeds of change, right? To bring forth the new higher consciousness reality here. Yeah, beautiful conscious reality, higher conscious reality again. Not just Lemurians, but all beings who have come to Earth to participate in the conscious evolution of human beings, and that's you. Is that exciting? It's a very exciting time to be here indeed. Divine One, firstborn of the heritage of the Sirian love, and that's kind of how Lemurians are made, right? So it's kind of like the heritage, this lineage of Sirian love. Created from God consciousness. Then you became a Sirian, and then you became a Sirian who was creating Lemurians, and then Lemurian human, and then modern human nowadays. So in the Sirian Council, you're a great being of the high masters of the spiritual realms, and you, Divine One of the expansion of the isness, came to planet Earth to participate in the galactic experience and experiments of planet Earth. That's exciting, isn't it? Isn't that really exciting that you came here to do this? So instead of evolving to higher planes after Sirius, you decided to take a detour to planet Earth. All right, a detour. Oh my God, why would I come here? Why would I take a detour here, right? Why would I do that? To actively participate in creating a new conscious reality on Gaia called Lemuria. Yeah. Lemuria is a state of being, state of consciousness. You are more than a myth or a legend. You are an expansion of the I am, the expansion of isnness, and the expansion of these mosquitoes all around me. Alive, active, and now real. That's right, a defining moment of love you. So the more you work on yourself, you become more in your love and more active and more real. And there's multidimensional aspects of yourself and your highest version of yourself. And it's like more active, more real. And these are like quantum jumpings and integrating with yourself. You're a defining moment of God consciousness of God, goddess, love. That's what you are. You're an expansion of the isness within the great beingness that you are entity. Thank you for being here. Mosquitoes of the Sirian Love and Sirian Love Council. Woo! So does observation really affect reality? Does it? Does observation really affect reality? Let's see here. You are a consciously evolved being here to set in motion a higher state of evolution for humankind. That's exciting. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Lemurians, Sirians, etc. Indigos, star children, rainbow children, all conscious contributors, all higher conscious contributors to the evolution of this planet. You were called forth, and here you are. Thank you. Meaning beings who could take charge to change their reality by the will and free choice. By your will and free choice, your will and your imagination and will. Welcome, sweet ones. Welcome here again. Thank you. Welcomes. Sirians love welcomes. Lemurian loves welcomes. Conscious creators that you are, thank you for being here. Silent or active participators, whatever it is, that conscious creator that you are, that observer, that observing with your will, the will of God, the God consciousness within your beingness. Now you've decided to stay on planet Earth, and some decided to return back to Sirius. And you, brave soldier of the light, yeah, you brave one, and me too, entity of the divine, been through these lifetimes, have stayed to learn, to grow, to shape, and to be a present conscious contributor to the birthing of a new world, determined and destined. That's exciting. You can sit on the sidelines, or you can participate right into it and get consciously involved. That's exciting, isn't it? So welcome, Galactic Council, the family. So birthing of a new world does not mean we'll have a better old world, right? But a new world. And this does not mean completely like a new world, like pop, here comes a new world, and everybody jump off, woo, we get into a new world. It doesn't mean that. Like with one replaces the other. You are the co-creators and the founders of Lemuria, which is a state of being, a state of consciousness. Not the finders of spirituality, but founders of a higher consciousness of spirituality. That's you. Yeah, exciting. Birthing this higher state of consciousness with Mother Gaia. So Lemurian was feminine, not female. So it's that birthing, compassion, but power, dominion, dignity, eloquent, We are here to create a new conscious reality. You're contributing to the creation of a new conscious reality. And I will explain as we're going forward how you're contributing. I'm not contributing, Chris. How am I not doing anything? But yeah, you're contributing. You really are. It's really exciting. So how do we do this? Well, nothing changes till we do, right? Oh, I've heard this before, right? So therefore, the way to evolve the world is by evolving yourself. We can start by learning and growing into new measuring and observing devices. That's pretty exciting. Something new. Yeah. Measuring and observing devices, which can assist us in creating a new consciousness reality. The more tools we have, the more measuring devices we have, in a better world we can and will create together as conscious contributors. So the world you experience is a world to observe and a world you can measure. When we have limited tools to measure the world, we have limited experiences. However, the more tools we have, the more observing devices you will have. Meaning the more measuring devices you have, the bigger your world becomes. Now this is very exciting, right? Let's take quantum mechanics or quantum physics here for a second. Oh my God, boring stuff. No, it's really cool. It's like you take the physics and you mix with spirituality, and it makes sense. It kind of makes, like, if you have the science kind of mind, you got to see it to believe it. It makes sense, right? So science developed a way of measuring photons in action, right? Photons. This split quantum mechanics. You can YouTube this and look at what they're explaining there, but which in turn created an experience to be literal, right? To be literal, to change it within motion, right? Meaning science has discovered what you observe is created and what you measure is created. Sounds like a bird. There was just an eagle up there a second ago too. Science also shown that a choice can be made, right, after the fact, and that choice is not limited to time or space reality. Not at all. Your choice can be changed after the mechanics is in motion. It can be changed after it's in motion. You can change it then. Let's give an example here. Have you heard of the quantum mechanics double slit theory, or double split theory? I was just mentioning that before, so you can look into this, right? Here physics used a photon gun, right, and blast photon particles straight ahead through a slit to a backboard. So you can imagine a backboard, right, to a backboard. When you observe the photon particle going through the slit, the photon particles form a simpler 1 or 2 line design on the backboard as they're going through. It just as you're observing it, watching it, and the photon gun blasts, it's going, you can see them on the back line. Now, if one does not observe the photon particles goes right through the double slit and creates a multiple series of energy wave imprints on the background. So if you're not looking at it at all, what I'm trying to say is that unconsciously it's creating waves. That's like patterns in your life. When you're unconscious, you're just creating patterns in your life. So when we observe the photon particle in action with a measuring device, the particle behaves differently. Now, physicists tried another experiment. A choice can be made after the fact, okay? So we did the observing and the non-observing, meaning unconscious and conscious. Meaning the physics turned their heads, did not watch, but just as the photon particle, just as it was determined, was going to be a wave. As they were turning away, as there's going to be a wave, imprint on the background, they decided to turn the camera on and look at the photon particle, and the particle changed immediately. Even though it was determined and destined to be a wave, of not looking at it, as you turn and we're consciously looking at it, it changed, okay? This is beautiful. Within that millimicrosecond, okay, even after, it was determined to make a wave imprint. The particle changed and formed a double line imprint. This is really amazing stuff here. This is huge. You can YouTube this if you'd like, and you can look into it even deeper. This means we can change reality anytime by being a conscious creator, by the will of God within the Lord God of your being, so be it entity. So you're using this Lord entity to change the reality. And so you know that the God consciousness is within you, and as you are experiencing your reality and looking, you're changing this reality, even if you don't know it or not. Even if there's a bunch of fear and problems in the world, you're changing it. This is what Lemurians do. We come to create a new conscious reality. Woo! And all high conscious beings, even though the current reality is in motion, from an unconscious and conscious perspective, Lemurians contribute to a higher evolved world, right? Beautiful world. And that's what I mean by transforming a new world, by conscious contributors with the photon particle, as all this fear and stuff is in motion. We come in with our love and divinity from the Lord God of our being, so be it, by redefining who we are and working on ourselves, by understanding that we can't blame, and this is the dark night of soul, and this is basically your life review, and you clear it, and you clean up everything yourself, and you got from the ages of like 16 to 50 where the soul comes in and gives you the shadow time, and you work on yourself in that shadow time to heal yourself, all right? Or you get into that stage of the midlife crisis, and you got to jump back and try to recapture things that you couldn't get, and you're not going to get them then, because you didn't get them then, you're not going to get them now. You know what I mean? So now's the time to work on yourself, get new perspectives, so that the things you change, right? You get a new perspective how you see things. So we're the higher evolved world now, and we Lemurians and higher conscious beings can re-edit, re-change, reform. Yeah! This is a reality by consciously contributing to the expansion of isness, to the expansion of the great I am, to the expansion of maybe you're an experiment. Maybe you're having fun. Maybe this is something you want to do here, to add to your divinity, to divine to your dignity, to the greatness that you are. One person tapped in and turned on to this music of creation, this power of creation entity, that you are a divine being, that you are. So be it. So be it. So be it. More powerful than a billion that are not, because they're unconsciously. So they're creating these patterns. See the waves on the background, but they're just all these these are all their patterns. They're creating life, and they're bugging them all the time, right? That's an unconsciousness. So probably if I had some way of getting rid of them, that would be a conscious. I'm consciously contributing where they all would go. And it's set. So you are contributing to this emotion. You start to eliminate these fears that are happening by contributing more love to this paradigm. You are a Lemurian born and raised of the Sirian love, setting forth in motion. That is you, Divine One. To create a new expansion of the God consciousness, the God Goddess consciousness, reality of all that is, Great One. So does observation affect reality? Does it? Does it? Let me know. Let me know in your comments. It certainly does from my perspective. So when you change the way you perceive things, the things you perceive change. So nothing in this world is certain till someone makes a measure and observes it. Right? Until you observe it. Create new reality by observing it with your will of love. Just like your emotions are attached to your thinking. And when you think, you feel your emotions. When you have your emotions, you think. Your will is your imagination. Your imagination is your will. Come from a will of love. So the master show within inside your being. Channel from Sirian Lemurian Love. This is Chris from Miraculite. Blessings, Divine Ones, of the great I am, of the expansion of isness. Thank you for being here. Blessings. Golden Lemurian. Maybe you can see there is like a being within there.